What's going on, my PT peeps, my Walking Dead family, and my fighters? I'm One Eye Bry, also known as PT. Don't know if I'm winking or blinking, but I'm asking the question, what are the best enemies on The Walking Dead? Or I guess, who are the best enemies on The Walking Dead? Spoiler warning for all things Walking Dead, that's for sure. But there's a poll question on Twitter at Dead City AMC, and they asked the question now, best enemies on The Walking Dead or in The Walking Dead universe. And they have some interesting choices. So here, let's look at the poll right here. We have who are the best enemies of The Walking Dead? Rick and the Governor, Maggie and Negan, Carol and Alpha, Daryl and Water. Obviously, it's Daryl and Water, right? But there's only 4 choices. There's just so many more. I mean, you could put Rick with Shane, Rick and the Governor, Rick and Negan, Rick and this. You could put like so many characters with Rick. You could have a whole poll question just that. But it's interesting that you see Maggie and Negan as best enemies. And this same Twitter account had a question of the best chemistry with Negan and Maggie. So there's been a lot of discussion talking about, you know, the best chemistry, and you could be romantic or not. You could be enemies, you could be friends, you could be coworkers, you could be acquaintances, you could say a bunch of different things. Chemistry is open-ended. It's not just one way. But Negan and Maggie, best chemistry and best enemies? What do you think? And then here was Carol and Daryl, Rick and Michonne, Rick and Negan. So, and when I brought this up in a video on my channel, I think it was split between Carol and Daryl and Rick and Michonne were that, but I saw some different choices. But Rick and the Governor, best enemies, and there's no doubt they were just enemies. So it makes sense that that's an option. And they went at each other. I mean, the comic, Rick loses his hand by the Governor, but that didn't happen on the show. Now, they also have Maggie and Negan, which is interesting because that is the only choice in both poll questions. Maggie Negan, or Negan Maggie. And they've been around for a while, since season 7, going at each other. So it kind of is interesting. It's a good choice. How about Carol and Alpha? I don't think it's the longest rivalry. I mean, the Governor and Rick was at least a season and a half. Carol and Alpha didn't even have that much interaction. So I'm not sure about that. And the funny one is Daryl and Water. I mean, there's a running joke about Daryl doesn't bathe and he likes to be dirty, you know, like a dirtball child. And so that's the obvious winner, right? Daryl and Water, I mean, they don't mix. They are enemies. They are polar opposites. But Daryl's going to be forced to be in water as he gets in the ocean and, bathed by the nuns. And of course, you got to talk about Negan and Rick. They were enemies, for sure, right? We didn't get to see them work together like they do in the comic. That went to Daryl and Negan on the show. But who are the best enemies in the Walking Dead universe? Is it, somebody else? I mean, I love the options and I love their take on it. So let me know, post your comments below. Who do you think is the best enemies on The Walking Dead or in The Walking Dead universe? Like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, guys. We're going to be talking about The Walking Dead universe for time to come. Daryl Dixon show starts very soon in a week as I make this video on AMC+. Can't wait for that. Stay safe. And as always, tell them, Daryl.
Yo, we love you guys.